I feel like there's probably not been one specific thing. It's been a continuous growth of trying to become more rounded, whether that's more rounded in training, eating, nutrition, sleeping, just everything off the bike as well as on the bike. I think, you know, as a young kid, there's many young kids that are really fast, but they don't have the full puzzle. You don't have the full picture there ready yet. So, and that just comes from experience and making mistakes and messing stuff up. So I think my time over in Europe rounded me as a person. It's, I guess, probably from looking back from 2010 Supercross to right now Supercross, there's been a hell of a big gap in between, but I've been in Europe for 90% of all that. 2010, I remember I was in second in San Diego Supercross, and in my head I was like, I want to win this race. I hadn't even been on the podium. I hadn't even been inside the top 5, I don't think. And I was riding really good that night. I should have, now looking back, I should have recognized when you make a couple of mistakes. See, you make one mistake, okay, you make two. If you make one more, you're on the floor. So the third mistake, you're on the floor. That's my rules in my head. And mistakes for me, you probably won't even recognize. I'll like push the front a little bit, or like dab my foot, or do something, or clip something. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't mean to do that. And you've mentally gotta recognize that when you're under stress, when your heart rate's super high and you want to win and everything's there, and recognize right when to back off. Because in that race, I had second in the bag. I had 2 turns to go. Passing a lapper, slid out, still in second, picked the bike up, fell over again because I was in neutral, picked the bike up, went, oh, I just got to the finish line and got 4th. And I was like, man, that was an easy podium. And I screwed it up. I think probably that is one thing that I look back on now, and I realize A1, we've just finished A1, and all right, I was 14th in the 450 class. The class is stacked, it's a heavy class, but the biggest goal of mine was to be calm, to be relaxed. There's a lot going on. There's the fireworks, there's thousands of people. It was hectic. But when the goggles go on, focus on hitting your marks, doing your laps, and recognizing when you're getting close to that line, because it's more important to be solid and be consistent and be there each race than it is to go and get a second or a 5th and then be upside down and not race anymore. You know that. So I think for me that's something, and it's still a battle with everyone. It's hard. It's not easy. It's a lot easier said than done. But for me, I feel like having a little bit more experience now, just in general with racing in Europe and racing here in America, I think that carries over, and that's probably a big part that it's hard to teach young kids that, because everyone wants to just go fast and the carrot's dangling in front of you and you can take it. You've got to know when that line is there. So
I've definitely had some bad habits over the years. Probably one of the biggest ones, this is my 8th year racing pro, and so each year I develop a little further, as well as everybody else. But one of the easiest things is when you first start on Supercross, like it's such a big like core and lower body workout, just using like especially your legs to work the bike. And it's super easy to just start sitting down everywhere, and that ultimately leads to slower lap times. I mean, you come out of a corner and you seat balance everything. Sometimes you need to sit down for like the height of a seat balance, but it's easy to get carried away and get lazy and stay sitting down. And so then it's like, okay, well, I'm not using my legs very well. I'm not working the bike very well. And that really can snowball into really whatever you let it. But it's super hard, especially at the level today. Like, and ideally you need to stand up coming out of the corner. So you're on the gas, like the force of the forward momentum is working against you, but you have to pretty much do a squat up and forward. And so it's really hard to do, but it's a constant learning and strength and ongoing battle that you get used to fighting, and then before long you're naturally standing everywhere, and it's like you're using your legs. And I used to be really bad about, once I would get tired, oh, my legs are tired, I just start sitting down everywhere. Well, then it's like you're clipping stuff. You're not getting over the jumps because you're not working the bike how your bike's supposed to work. So it's a bad habit that I feel like I don't have it anymore, is sitting down, but it's easy to get carried away with that.
So a common mistake for a lot of the amateurs that I see, again, this goes hand in hand, you know, not entirely everyone, but they are super fast around the practice track, or we go to a local track and they're like cutting the insides of the turns, or they're like all over you, like they're ripping, but they're like so dialed in on that track. And then you go to a race, they don't do as well, and they go from being the king to being literally at the bottom of the barrel. Oh, why has it gone so wrong? Oh, well, I feel like a bit of maturity with that is on something that if I was trying to teach the younger kids coming up, the fast ones that are getting there, is to really try to stay level mentally. Whether that is when you are winning and when you're not. It's just keep doing your work, don't try and reinvent the wheel, stick to your plan, believe in your plan, and you'll be all right. Like, I understand you want to build confidence off of a practice day, and if you see a pro rider out there, you want to hang on to them by all you can. But it's important to recognize when you're kind of cheating yourself at a practice track, and when it's not really realistic, and then at a race, be okay with it not feeling great. You need to be okay with not feeling perfect. I mean, even at Anaheim. Okay, it's my first Anaheim in 10 years, pretty much. But man, everything felt weird. The whole stadium felt weird. The track felt weird. But you still have to mentally just calm it down and just stick to your plan. And that's probably something that I feel like the amateurs and the young kids coming up could work on. But again, you know, that's again one of those things from experience I'm looking back on.
A lot of what I see in amateurs now is a lot of comparison, and it's a lot of, oh, so-and-so's doing this, so I have to do this, and this person's going here, so I need to go there. And it's, to an extent, yes, you need to kind of keep up, but the fundamentals are really not addressed anymore. It's just go to the practice tracks during the week. It's all about speed, and speed is something you can get anybody to go fast. Whether it's efficient or safe is a whole different story, but 9 times out of 10 anybody can go fast. The problem is when there's a little mistake, or there's something goes just a little bit wrong, does that person have the ability to correct that mistake at that speed? Like as far as riding position, bike setup, technique. So it's a bummer to see how much stress some people put on some things and completely miss others, because with the speeds that are there today and the longevity and the power of the bikes, just the fitness of everybody's good. And that's where, for me, I spent really most of my life doing fundamental stuff, because I wasn't able to ride all the time. It was like when I would go ride, it's like, okay, what have I learned? And I go and work on that, and I try to get faster. And so it wasn't like growing up in North Carolina, we didn't really have many tracks close to us, but I also went to school. So it was, I would ride on the weekends and we would go where it's open. So I mean, I really learned when I was on super minis, kind of proper technique. I went to MTF for a week during spring break, and I kind of learned some fundamental stuff, and I still use some of that stuff today. it took me years to like implement that into my riding style, and then it became natural. But that was when I was probably like 13 or 14. Well, then I went to live at Club MX when I was late 16, and that's when I actually got to ride and train full time. And so then it was the constant focus on fundamentals and repeatability. And so that really kind of transformed my riding ability to be consistent long term. And that's what a lot of it is kind of lost now. And we got to go here, we got to go there, you got to go faster, you got to go faster. Well, it's like people don't really know how. It just go faster. And that's probably the biggest thing is there's some steps that are looked over that could really be kind of make or break later in your career.